going, everybody? Hope you guys are doing well out there and you've been enjoying the holidays. If you're in America, there's been some exciting news and developments that I want to get you guys up to speed on, namely from Quai Network and the launch of Project SOAP. And so what I want to do today is tell you everything you need to know as a miner or investor for Quai Network's launch of Project SOAP, just real quick in under 5 minutes. And so if you are a miner, you need to know that you are now going to be able to mine Quai with not only GPUs, but also ASICs. So this is a very interesting development. And in addition to that, there is also going to be the ability to stake. And I kind of want to cover some of the fundamentals here, like what I like to refer to as the virtuous cycle and the flywheel, if you will. So let's dive into all that stuff right now, and I'll give you guys everything you need to know in under 5 minutes.
The worst day on Wall Street since the crash of 1987. From the financial capital of the world.
Bitcoin and the broader cryptocurrency or the blockchain industry is fundamentally revolutionary.
Traders here working the phone say a lot of their customers are freaked out, waiting to see how low the Dow will go. They're so
This is a revolutionary paradigm shift in technology that is challenging the power centers of the existing global world.
Quai Network takes it beyond 2 tokens, 1 system.
I am utterly uninterested in shitcoins, but I'm concerned that the BTC version has the significant wrong characteristics. And Quai may in fact be the alternative. So it is proof of work. It has a different approach to how it does entropy, which is not radically different. It's a very small difference, and I'm convinced that it's a difference that Satoshi would have been like, yeah, that's the right answer, meaning it is the right answer. If you dig into their POEM technology, proof of enemy entropy minimization, and spend time on it, you'll be like, yeah, that is a much better approach, and elegant and powerful.
Well, I'll be damned, guys. I was recording this video, getting ready to tell you all about Quai Network's Project SOAP, thinking it was going to launch next week on mainnet, after testing in Orchard last week or so. And I just checked my Discord quick, and it looks like SOAP is officially live. So that means I have a lot of work to do as I transition Alpha Pool over onto the new fork of Go Quai on mainnet so that we can all mine Project SOAP. Now, with that being said, I really intended to give you guys everything that you need to know in order to mine SOAP and basically Quai in this new environment where we're going to be able to use not only our GPUs but our ASICs as well to mine. Now, there is going to be a total of 3 algorithms if you're not already aware. So Quai has been using ProgPow Quai as the algorithm, but that is now going to be switching to Kapow, just like Ravencoin. And then if you have SHA-256 ASICs that you're using to mine Bitcoin or Bitcoin Cash or whatever, you are also going to be able to point those to my pool or another pool of your choice or your own node and mine Quai with that unit. And the same goes for your L9s, your L7s. If you're buying L11s, you got Volk miners, whatever, your DG1s from your AlphaPex units. All of your script ASIC units are going to be able to mine Quai as well. So you have script, you have SHA, and you have Kapow. Okay, so Project SOAP is launching. Why should you give a shit? Why do I give a shit? What is it? What does it mean? Well, essentially, if you look at it on paper, the economic math is such that, to boil this down to its simplest constituent parts here, we're really looking at targeting a number go up. That's kind of the plan, is just this chart is not looking super attractive, right? But the idea is now up and to the right. Just to put this very simply, there's a lot more going on than that. But what you really need to know is that is essentially the goal. Will it work? I don't know. But we are going to find out. Without getting too technical and spending a lot of time, buybacks. So whatever amount of hash rate is currently at the protocol level, which for Quai, I believe It looks like around 124, 25 gig hash here is currently on the network, at the protocol level, they're mining Quai. So once Project SOAP launches, which was just announced, was going to be December 17th around 9:30 prime block 171,500, merge mining will begin. And this shit is wild. This is like kind of game changing. So we're going to have what's going to happen is I'm personally going to be pointing my script miners and my Bitcoin miner, my Ant miner S21XP, in addition to my GPUs that I have on Kapow. So all of that hash rate is going to be mining Quai, right? However, if you point your script miner, you're also going to be contributing the mining of, Dogecoin and Litecoin and the other 9 coins, Lunky Coin, Junk Coin, whatever, Dingo Coin, all that shit. All of that is going to be contributing to buybacks. And so once this activates, right, we're just going to be mining. We're going to be mining with our GPUs, we're going to be mining with our ASICs, and we're going to be getting our Quai for mining. But in the background, this AuxPow mechanism is going to be, whatever like hash rate is on the network is also going to be mining these other tokens. It's also going to be mining, Bitcoin Cash and Dogecoin and Litecoin and Ravencoin. And with the amount of, coin that is mined, it's going to be sold at market, and then Quai is going to be purchased. Now, I don't know if you've done any trading or paid attention to, the volumes, and you can just kind of like quickly do a little bit of math, and you can kind of see on CoinGecko if you want to go ahead and check out Quai, and you can just like the amount of Quai that you can see in volume, like move the chart, is pretty interesting. I would say if you're interested in this, go take a look at that. But I don't have any exact numbers. I just don't think we're going to know until we know. But this is where the virtuous cycle comes in. This is what I like, this is what's getting referred to as like the flywheel, because what happens when more hash rate joins Quai network, more purchasing of Quai happens. So the more hash rate on Quai, the more Raven, Doge, and Bitcoin Cash is mining simultaneously and purchasing Quai. We're getting paid out in that Quai. If it's getting purchased, you know what happens when things get bought. So the economic math looks like buybacks create this positive price action. What do you do as a miner? Miners follow the money, right? Nobody likes to mine at a loss. It's just irrational. Sure, we like to secure the network, or we love a project and sometimes we want to mine it. But at the end of the day, the lion's share of hash rate is usually following the money. And so once the price starts to appreciate, more miners technically are going to flock over, right? I guess that would be my assumption. And then there's going to be more buy pressure on the coin. So is this going to work? I have no idea, but like logically and on paper, it does in fact make sense. And so one of the things I'm going to be looking out for is coin yield, right? I think when this launches, network difficulty is going to be decently low, and I think that's going to be like a time for us to kind of generate a lot of coins. I want to see coin yield on SHA-256 versus Script versus Kapow, right? What coin, what device is going to get me the most coin, or is it just going to be the same across the board and it's kind of a wash depending on your hash rate? Now, in order to mine this, it's going to be very simple for whatever device you're using, right? You're just going to literally mine to the correct stratum and change your port. So, at my pool, at Alpha Pool, it's going to be SHA-256 on port 3334, and then Script will be 3335. This is testnet, so it'll be a different server. I'm going to migrate all the mainnet servers over to, obviously the new version of Go Quai and SOAP mining, so that we can all use these new devices. So all these will have the correct stratums, etc. And you can just use this cool new ping checker tool and see whichever server gives you the best latency. Now, I want to keep this under 5 minutes. The whole video is going to be a little longer. I have the Quai section, and I'd like to keep around 5 minutes. There's one last important point that I think you guys need to know. So in addition to these buybacks going on where the hash rate is going to be in the background selling the Ravencoin, Bitcoin Cash, Doge, and Litecoin and purchasing Quai to prop up the price, you are then going to be able to yield farm or stake, whatever you want to refer to it as. And they have a pretty neat calculator page here. I don't think we're going to know the exact numbers until this is live, but this is pretty cool. I'm going to leave a link down in the video description below, and this actually has everything that you need to know. It's very interesting. So if you want to play around on this buyback calculator website, you have your formula right here, so you kind of know exactly what's going on, which is neat. I like that. And then the kind of like bullet point of SOAP and what you need to know exists right here as well. So that resource is going to be there for you guys to check out. So the takeaways here are, we're going to be able to mine Quai with ASICs and GPUs. Also, all of the network hash rate is going to be mining Ravencoin, Dogecoin, Litecoin, and Bitcoin Cash and selling it to purchase Quai in the background. Theoretically, that should in fact create this buy pressure. And if you look at the emissions of the other coins, and if you are aware at the market volume, how the market moves in relation to volume, this gets pretty interesting. I don't know what's going to happen, but we will see. At my pool website, I'm not the only pool that's supporting this. Obviously, here you can mine to Hero Miners, you can mine to K1, and I think there's a third one, Cryptex, I think, is also supporting this too. So whatever works best for you. It's going to be, once it launches, I'll just do a video showing how to connect everything. But if you guys are miners, you're already going to know. I think staking will be new, and so if you want to participate in that, I'll show you guys how to do that as well, because I'm also going to be interested in that. So hopefully this gives you guys kind of like quick and dirty rundown, everything you need to know for Project SOAP's launch next week. Get ready. I think it's going to be pretty interesting. I'm going to be doing some experimenting personally. I want to see what units kind of yield the most coin, and then I'm also interested in kind of yields for yield farming at launch versus like 30 days later. So I think the best time to participate in this, whether you're mining or staking, is probably going to be at launch. But don't quote me on that. I like science, and I like seeing what actually works. So here's all the claims. Here's what we're going to be, kind of leaning into as this happens. And I'm just going to be measuring and testing everything. So if you want to come hang out in the Discord, just, hop in there. You can get the link there in the video description below. Good luck, everybody. Have fun and happy mining.